Hello, am I streaming? It's Joey Only, Caribbean Weather Dude here, live in Wells, British Columbia. Yes, and the storm of the year has begun down south. People are walking by my window as I'm seemingly talking to nobody in their opinion. And perhaps that's true. But if you are here, uh, welcome. Yes. So I've been doing some live streaming on Facebook a little more, just because trying to expand out onto Patreons and supporters, and trying to build a little bit more of a sustainable thing for myself here. So thank you to my newest patron today, Tiffany. That's awesome of you. Really glad to have that support every day, every month. That's $5. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when a lot of people do that, that's pretty handy, right? So let's get to the skinny of the things right now in southern British Columbia. Big storm moving in, and we have, of course, uh, some wicked weather involved. Now, here's the thing that we're going to talk about for a few minutes here. I'm going to just make sure that my face isn't too much in the way of things, because you're not here to see me, you're here to see the weather. So, okay, there you go. My face is a little bit out of the way. Let's look at this weather radar right now. So here's the problem. It went away. Okay, it's back. Here's the problem. We have this Silver Star radar station is not functioning right now. So that leaves us at a big loss as to what's happening in much of southern British Columbia. That's not good. We're going to try to find some details on that. And we do have this going on right now, and it's happening. Yes, so we do have mixes of snow up in the mountains, and this isn't the greatest radar format necessarily, but what we'll do is come back to radar. No, I didn't mean to go to Facebook. I meant to go to weather.gca. We'll come back to radar in a minute, because we're going to just look at what the government's saying. Loading interactive map. So we have huge weather stories across country. Let's look at all of them briefly before we come back to British Columbia radar situation. And we'll start on the west coast of British Columbia right here. And we'll bing, do this. So as we talked about on Facebook this morning, 80 to 100 kilometer an hour gusts going on. That can break tree branches and things like that. It's developing late this evening. Strong southwesterly winds of 60 to 80. Yeah, easing Tuesday evening. We got wind warnings also inland for southern Gulf Islands, and this special weather statement. Elevated ocean water levels accompanied by significant waves. We got a big wind coming out there, and it's pushing water ashore. And once we get that high tide, I was talking about that earlier this morning as well, because I don't know when high tide is. I'm not an ocean guy. Shorelines along the southern Gulf Islands could expect some pretty high tide, so be careful out there. Large waves, storm surge, seasonally high tides have the potential to produce high water levels for Tuesday. Coastal flooding is possible along exposed shorelines. It's possible. We do have snowfall warnings for this section here of East Vancouver Island, 5 to 10 centimeters, and I've seen image already that it has snowed in some of these areas. I forget what the number of the highway is there. The Vancouver Island Highway, 10 centimeters over. It'd probably tell me right here if I read. Snowfall 5 to 10 centimeters today. Strong funnel system bringing wintry mix of snow, 10 centimeters. So 10 centimeters for you. And of course, Gulf Islands, you're not probably going to get 10 centimeters of snow. We do have wind warnings for Nanoose Bay, Campbell River, Sunshine Coast, 70 to 90 kilometers an hour. So that's through midnight tonight. That could damage buildings. Sure, why not? Snowfall warning in Whistler. So 15 to 20 centimeters there tonight. Will continue Tuesday morning. Maybe not as heavy as what's in this little corner, Howe Sound. Snowfall warning for Howe Sound, 10 to 15 centimeters. They don't get that there very much. That will make that stretch of highway up the Sea to Sky absolutely brutal, because that'll be wet snow and slippery, and I wouldn't recommend anybody who's watching us down there. Snowfall warning between there and Whistler, 15 to 20 centimeters as well, right? So, yes, that whole stretch of highway will be pretty gross. 10 to 15 centimeters in East Fraser Valley, including Hope. So that's here and here. For some reason, the Howe Sound is included on that just to save time, I guess. Special weather statement. That also is for that high tide in Vancouver. So good for them. Snowfall warning, Manning, Skagit, 10 centimeters, possibly in through there. Should taper off Wednesday morning. Here's where 30 to 50 centimeters are expected on the Coquihalla Highway. Series of weather systems bringing heavy snow to the BC interior. That begins today. It would be nice if we had radar in order to look at 30 to 50 centimeters of snow falling there or not. Well, we have other things that we could use to try to get some information. Snow will be, again, heavy fall Wednesday morning. So also there'll be 80 kilometer per hour winds roughly up there. That will generate blizzard-like conditions. Conditions will improve Wednesday. It says no, it won't, because that's when the cold weather comes. I'd rather have the snow still. Snowfall warning in this large section of the southern interior. That doesn't seem to include Kamloops, Ashcroft, Merritt, Little Fort. So unfortunately for you guys, you might be getting some snow, but you're not getting a warning. So whatever it is, it'll be dusting. 10 centimeters, well, so far that's what it looks like. Into the Kootenays, 15 to 20 centimeters. This begins in the evening today and goes to Wednesday morning. If we go look at the Okanagan Merritt connector, we already looked at that. That's the 15 centimeters there. No, we didn't look at that. We looked at, so these maps get confusing. I get it. It gets confusing for me. West Columbia, 15 to 20 centimeters there as well. 10 centimeters for East Kootenay, Invermere, tapering off Wednesday morning. Cranbrook, 15 to 20 centimeters as well, and that also includes Kootenay Lake and Elk Valley, that sort of area. So 15, 20 centimeters there. Revelstoke, this is probably going to be interesting. Trans-Canada Highway, snowfall warning to 15 to 20 centimeters. Okay, that's not too bad. That's West Columbia, but what about Eagle Pass, 15 centimeters? That could be worse. And we do have the pass down here that we didn't, 30 to 50 centimeters. So it'd be nice to have some radars working. So can people out there that work on radars get that happening? That'd be cool. We do have some snow coming to Burns Lake in Houston. So that Highway 16 corridor, you definitely are looking at. Now that'll probably taper off by Tuesday. And it's only 10 centimeters. It's not crazy amount. And it's cold enough, I think, that at least it will be snow and not a wintry mix. It will, I'm not expecting up north here so much to see rain or freezing rain or the kinds of things. So that's why we have snowfall warnings in the Caribou. Sorry, my shoelace is a little bit loose. 10 centimeters this evening to Tuesday evening for the Caribou. So everyone's getting a little bit of snow. And even what's going on in Dawson Creek? Snowfall warning for McGregor, 10 centimeters. That's cool. Good for you. And then snowfall warning for South Peace. That does appear to not include Fort St. John, but just outside of Sweetwater Road up by Rolla. You seem to be on the outside of that. So somewhere in here they're expecting, we can have a look at that, 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. Tumbler Ridge, it might get 5 to 10 centimeters. So that's coming early Tuesday morning through the evening. That's how you will experience that, such things. And even on the Alberta side, snow will begin there. 10 to 15 centimeters is expected. What about this? Minus 40. So we do see that cold weather is pushing in. That's overnight tonight. Minus 40 expected up there. Minus 45 in Fond du Lac, Saskatchewan. Not nice. Snowfall warning going on now. Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday, so that's not that's future cast, but that is sort of what they're expecting for Saskatoon and that general region in central Saskatchewan. Alberta Clipper is developing. So that's when all this moisture finally makes it over and then redevelops its low. Up here again, we're talking about -50 in the far north and Aklavik, -50 through the week. We do have a blizzard that's going on the Dempster Highway. So that's tonight, near zero visibility, extremely cold, winds gusting 80 to 100. That'll be pushing snow all over the roads and make it nearly impossible to see. Well, it's not roads, it's the road, the Dempster Highway. That's pretty much, there's just one road there. -50 in Coldville, Northern Territory. I call that Coldville. That's been cold there for days. No forecast available for some reason. City of Thunder Bay weather advisory. Winter weather is moving into Thunder Bay area, so we can talk about all this, what's happening. We have this major storm moving through eastern North America, and there'll be several rounds of it. So we don't have the weather warnings for, nothing seems to matter south of this line. We don't know what's going on down here. But major weather stories all the way up this whole eastern part. And I'm here to talk about Canada because that's what I do. I'm Canadian. And lots of people down south are covering the tornadoes that are going on today. There is tornado chases and watches going on. So we could have a little bit of a look at that. Impactful weather, 10 to 20 centimeters in Elliott Lake, Ranger Lake. If you're watching Makwa, hello, you're going to get some snow. 15 to 30 centimeters in Bayfield Inlet. So Northern Ontario is getting some snow. 15 to 30 centimeters, heavy snowfall, northeastern Ontario, Tuesday. Winds could be 60 km, so we do have that cold air coming in down that's feeding this storm as well. Ice pellets, freezing rain along Georgian Bay. 15 to 30 centimeters of snow, perhaps inland land. So in here at where sort of in the area my mom lives, snow 15 to 20 centimeters for you, Mom, if you're watching, and 10 to 15 centimeters along the Ontario Lakeshore. That's Toronto all the way down to Hamilton, up to Belleville, Kingston. Southern Ontario, mostly looking at rainfall, 20 to 30 centimeters, maybe a little bit of snow, but that could be a shitty mix because that's when the driving is the worst. 20 to 40 centimeters up in western Quebec, Chibougamau, Manic 5 area, Baie-Comeau, 20 to 40 centimeters of snow going on there as well Tuesday before that system passes through Wednesday. Special weather statement for Saint George de Beauce area, Quebec. Rain, freezing rain, snow there. 90 kilometers an hour winds for pretty much all of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. 10 to 15 centimeters possible there. So we're looking at some pretty bad weather, 90 kilometer an hour for the Fundy Coast. Winds 15 to 20 centimeters. That's Wednesday, most likely we're looking at that. And of course for all of, wow. Look at this, Nova Scotia. Truro could be seeing 100 kilometer an hour gusts with 30 millimeters of rain, a little bit of snow. Some snow more likely in the Highlands. So out towards Sydney, Nova Scotia, out towards you, Frank. That's going to be interesting and possibly damaging for our friends in Nova Scotia. So that's Monday's report for Wednesday's significant storm. Likely large waves and pounding surf up to 4 to 6 meters are breaking upon the shore right now in Terra Nova, Newfoundland. Highest risk of flooding is Tuesday morning at 5:30 a.m. Intense storm south of Greenland. Greenland's producing long period swells with large breaking waves. Could cause some erosion, things like that. So that's all along that eastern section of Newfoundland, and storm surge warning as well for St. John's and vicinity. So look out, Newfoundlanders. You know what to do. You know the ocean better than I could imagine, I'm sure. So that's why you are you. Okay. Give me 1 second here, and let's maybe queue up the next series of things that I want to look at. So I'm just going to close a couple things here, close a couple windows. Here's a great site. Yes, let's go here next. Here's a great site. Actually, no, wait 1 second. I'm going to go back here. I just want to see because I'm not paying attention to the live feed at all. So I'm just going to open up YouTube on my side here. And that way, if anybody has questions, you can always comment them down there in the comments. That would be cool. Seems like 5 people are watching at least. So that's okay. There we go. Always hit this thumbs up thing here. That really helps me. Shares and subscribes. That really helps me. So hi, Kara Werkstrom. You can always ask questions, and I'll come back here in a couple minutes and check on the questions if you so wish. Okay. So set up the radar quickly. If you'll allow me to. And I have to do something weird here. I gotta turn off. I'm gonna go to scene. I'm gonna turn off window and turn on display. Whoa, that's crazy looking, but here we go. We can turn this off. So here I am in Barkerville, BC. Super res reflectivity. We're just gonna split the screen here, and we're gonna add precipitation. So this gives us an idea right now in the Caribou. Could be a little bit of snow, just dusting going on Highway 97 between Alexandria and Kearsley. So that's commonplace on that Fraser River and south of Baker Creek. So somewhere out in that Chilcotin Plateau, there's a little bit of snow going on. Also South Fraser Lake. If you are currently down the 100 road, or if you currently are trying to make your way out on the Cluskus Road, you might be coming across some of these bands of snow. Good luck with that. I'm sure most of you guys who are working logging trucks are probably already out of the bush by now. So there's that. Okay, let's switch radars here. So we have no radar in southern BC. That's extremely annoying when we have a big weather story going on. We do have radar up here, but I don't expect to see any weather stories in the Peace Ridge region today. So that's snowfall warning is not coming for you today. Okay, we got other radar stations we can look at. So let's look at the BC coast right now and see what's going on here. So we do have heavy rainfall going on. Looks like Cowichan, North Cowichan, Cobble Hill, Honeymoon Bay, Yubu, where my friend Arlene lives. So Parksville, Lanceville, so probably all along that that highway. Yes, we go up to Cumberland. So we got some pretty good rainfall happening in through there right now. There was snow happening earlier today in the Courtenay Comox area, but it looks like that is now happening further south, further north. So up here in these in Tassies and Sayward, and on the north, on the mainland here, Kingcome Inlet, we're seeing some snowfall at the moment there. However, looks like most is happening down here in southern British Columbia right now, and there is people making crazy predictions for snow, and I'm sure there's going to be snow. But so far, all we're seeing is a lot of that rain. The location of the radars are kind of tough there. We can't really look up out. The radars are low at sea level. So unfortunately, these radars are always blocked by the mountains here, and that is, you kind of wish they'd put one up on top of Grouse Mountain or something like that. That'd be cool. But as you can see, raining very heavily there right now. We could maybe try to increase the tilt and see if we can get a little further look out. Sometimes that helps, but no, that's making the radar go up, down. That's our best look is tilt 1, but we see that band of heavy rain all the way down, touching into that Olympic mountainside of the United States. So that's that. Very little information about what's happening in southern BC right now. We don't know what's going on in this general vicinity whatsoever. Even if we put to tilt 4, we can't really get a look at what's happening snow-wise in the southern interior. That's a big time bummer. We could look over to Calgary, and but that's not. There's no weather going on. We can go down into Idaho, and it's not really reaching far enough to give us a look into southern BC. Even if we reach the tilt out, try to look further out, no, we're not getting anything. So unfortunately, that is what we're stuck with for radar feeds right now. Let's just have a peek, see if there's anything flash flooding in Louisiana, special weather, so severe thunderstorm in Mississippi. There has been tornadoes and stuff going on today. That's why I did want to take a look what's going on here. And yeah, look at this, Mississippi. That is some angry looking thunderstorms. Don't you miss thunderstorms right now? Especially when I'm looking at minus 40 coming this week. There's actually a possibility of minus 40 in Wells this week. And I'm looking at these thunderstorms and I'm just thinking, man, that would be fun. But yeah, look at that. Right along the Gulf Coast, right? So that's some pretty strong thunderstorms down there. Flash floods in Mississippi. Oh, even a flash flood warning in Hawaii. Special weather statements all over the place, but we've already talked about all the ones in Canada. So mesoscale discussion. I think that's more or less. So what are we looking at? Expires in 28 minutes. So what are we looking at here? Winds across Western Canada, sustained winds, 44 knots, numerous location, blizzard conditions going on. Periphery of 850 millibar low. Strong cold air advection continues with temperatures in the low 20s across northwest Kansas. Moderate to heavy snowfall within the deformation band will slowly drift east through the evening. So we're not seeing a whole lot of that yet, but some for sure. So definitely they're looking at some crazy, that's pretty high, pretty intense snowfall going on in there, it looks like to me. And a little bit of rain on the south flank down in Wichita, Kansas. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's turn this off for a second and turn the window back on though, because that's way more handy. Anyone talking? Hey, Happy Paddler. May have missed for Central BC. The forecast seems to be changing frequently. We could actually get 10 centimeters or so. Yeah, so it has been changing. And I was talking about that on the Facebook this morning about how it's got this massive cold air and you have all this warm, wet weather coming in off the coast, and the two are kind of hitting and they're pushing and pulling. And so we're seeing in some places where we thought we were going to have rain, maybe having snow. In some places we thought we were going to have snow, we're going to have rain. But as we get further into the interior, it's becoming now more certain as to who is getting what. Unfortunately, we can't prove it right now. I'm just going to refresh actually Southern Interior Road Reports. So this is a group that Colleen runs, who's a part of our Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers staff. So 50 centimeters of snow possible. Yep. Heavy snowfall warning for the Caribou. Yeah, thank you, Dawson. What do we got here? Snow plows working on 97C and honking. And what's he got there? That is a wild. I have never seen anything like this. Yeah, get out of the way. It's crazy plowman taking up the entire road. Wow, that is cool. So that is happening in British Columbia an hour ago. AIM Road. So whoever, they're not a member of the, so they can't even see their own post, unfortunately. Vehicle incident blocking the road at Murray Ridge Bridge, 42 kilometers south of Merritt. So not seeing often if there's like lots of accidents and stuff going on. This is a great place to find information. And so far, looks like the McClure Ferry is out of service today. If you were on, if you're, what's that, Little Fort crossing over, snowfall warnings. So yeah, we don't have much details currently, but keep your eye on this group because this is, if anything is developing, it'll be her that knows. So Colleen's part of also this group I run, Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. And so right now it's mostly, we got Don Bentley and Solistis got 3 inches of heavy wet snow at 9 a.m. by 9 a.m. Really hard to snow blow. The ground isn't frozen, so the blower's picking up rocks and dirt. So that sucks. Yeah. And sometimes if I look at the comments, it's people share their own pictures and video. So here we go. There's me live. ECMWF has sun peaks hitting -40, and that could happen for here in Wells as well. Yeah, it really could happen. So here's just some of, I encourage anybody on Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers to give us any post you can. And we have really great moderators. What is the most accurate weather website or app you can get? Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. Okay. Thanks. I'm glad I could answer that guy's question. Okay, so here we are, 0 hour. This is the map that pilots like to use, and I'm just going to take a second because you know what I can do. This is cool. Watch this. Watch this. Woo! So I'm using OBS today and not Zoom this afternoon. I have to use Zoom to broadcast on Facebook, but OBS I can is really good for broadcasting on YouTube. So this is what pilots look at, the graphic area forecast map. Okay, and it's a complicated map for a lot of people. I can walk you through a little bit of it though. So we got these green dots, that's snowfall, yeah. And that expectation kind of pushes out all the way across. This precipitation, it could be snowfall. So 0 hours, it could mean right now, it could mean in 2 hours from now or something like that. So things changing to snow down there. We haven't seen that yet, so mostly rain. But that rain is associated with this red line with these big boils. These big boils, that's your warm front. So we had rain coming with that warm front, I'm sure. But in behind that is this cold air churning up and in. That cold air is also fueling this storm, which is expected to be about 987 low, so not crazy low, but pretty low. And you see these little music note kind of things. These are your wind speed, sort of. That's in knots, so I know that's complicated. That's like an extra. We can't just have one system of measurement for everything. No, we can't. That would be sensible. Knots. So we have each line represents 10. So it looks like we got like 35, 40 knot winds, something like that, pushing in there. 30 knot winds up along the coast. So it's knots. Knots are slightly larger than a mile. So it's not exactly 1.6 kilometers. So it's 70 to 80 K going on. So that's more or less the picture going into six hours from now, going into the evening, maybe overnight. We see that low deepening, 979 millibar. You see it deepening, and you see these wind fields getting stronger, 40 knots, maybe higher. Here's the direction of it. This arrow is showing how it's going to slam in. A's got some comments. Maybe some tower cumulus. Could be a flash of lightning in there. Could be, yeah. That's sort of an occluded front. So we got warm air and cold air just kind of buffering up against each other. And this, look at how it's a classic mid-latitude cyclone structure. And we got rain and snow. So all the way. Now this is tough because I can barely see the difference between the different kinds of hatching. And I got like a TV in front of me that's, I don't know if I showed you that long enough or not. I got a TV in front of me and I can't tell the difference. So it's not easy. I get it. And we look at overnight, and when I see that kind of stretching out, reaching the Caribou, reaching the Rocky Mountains, in the green hatching, in the A, broken, is this how pitchy HEO. So, we have some areas of precipitation in there, patchy. It's kind of the center of the low. Most of the real activities on this flanking band that's mixing together in it. Does that make any sense? Okay. Hey, Shelly Selinsky. How low do I think the temperature get? I have seen convincing reason why I might see minus 40 even momentarily here. 38 seems pretty possible. Yeah. Hey, everybody. I noticed there's only one thumb up so far here. So if you could, I don't want to be the only one. Yeah, I do. I'm the only one. If you could hit that, there's a share there. That's cool. If you hit that, the subscribe. I can't show you the subscriber because it's my own channel. Also here is show your support for Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude. That'd be cool. And my Patreon and PayPal if you want to give a little bit of help to a guy who's could really use it. Here's the Drive BC page right now. So like trying to get some idea as to what's going on there. I don't know, we got what's going on. Man, these little maps are tough. And again, you gotta try to click on it and it just keeps moving around. Incident there, heavy snowfall going on 97C. So here's this is, a way that we can kind of, if you're planning to travel around, you can get a bit of an idea what's going on. Incident going on there, 97. Both directions, landslide going on. Okay, so there's a landslide there. That's nice. Interesting. On that 97C, Penticton up to Peachland. So if anyone has any details on that would be interesting. So every one of these red triangles in the drivebc.ca, there's an incident down there. It doesn't say what's going on at the incident though, like how much carnage or anything. Heavy snowfall. So I find this site kind of irritating. I want to click on it and it's jumping around. Incident there. It doesn't say if the highway's closed or not. If it was, I'm sure it would say. So anyways, here's this. You can use this though if you're, if you're in Grand Forks and you're like, okay, well, I'm thinking I'm gonna drive from Grand Forks now to Hope. Bad idea. This, but say you're doing that, you can go on the drivebc.ca site and look at all this and get kind of a better idea. I find this to be a little more useful for me because I don't have to like narrowly click on all kinds of little things. So let's see what's going on right now. Here we are on Highway 4 east west of 37 kilometers. So that's going towards Tofino, and it's looks like it's been snowing there. That's cool. Up in Banfield, big waves hitting the shores and the beaches. Snow falling right now in Gold River, it appears, at 15:35. So within the last hour. Area B South. That's not helpful. Give me a name. Sure, that's what people call it. Area B. Alert Bay. Looks rainy there. So here's just kind of jumping around. Looks like a little bit of snow by Buckley Bay. Volcano at Holyoke Lake. I don't know. lots of rain at View Royale, BC. Point Roberts. Getting dark there already. Yes, that's an updated. That's I guess down south it's still okay. Raining hard at Britannia Beach. Whistler, 5 fresh centimeters of snow. That's cool. That's handy, eh? Thank you for the snow ruler. There's lots of sites like this too where you can catch snow reports from different. Here's our big low, by the way. Sunshine, Malibu. Okay, here's our big low. There's 2 of them. We saw on the one map how it's going to push this way in tonight. Back to what's going on in BC. So we don't have any radar right now in areas that are extremely interesting for weather stories. Merritt, there's some sort of a nuclear apocalypse happening there. Let's see what else is going on. Nearest webcams. Snow falling. Snow falling, Aspen Grove. Okanagan, Similkameen, snow falling. So there you go. Snow falling near Penticton or Princeton right now. Yeah, up in the ski hill. Doesn't look like it's snowing at the moment there. Maybe, but it will be. Karamias. So a lot of these places that haven't had snow all year have snow on the ground. So whether or not it's snowing while these images are at the moment, it's hard to tell, but it looks like a bit of snow is falling all over the place. If we go a little further north though, up to Kamloops, nada. They're still waiting. Still waiting. So we don't have regular radar, but we do have some different things out by Lillooet. Dry roads. Cache Creek, dry roads. Dry roads to the Caribou. There was a little bit of snow, it looked like falling in Alexandria on our radar. Hard to tell. So that's pictures of British Columbia for you right now. There's Lake Louise. That's not even BC. That's Alberta, but it's close enough to BC. We can take some credit for it because the backside of those mountains is BC. So it's like we're close. We're close. Turn this off. I may have to get some water. My voice is a little sore. A lot of talking. I haven't talked much for a while, you know. So what's our temperatures looking like? Let's see. These are reported temperatures. So definitely get some 40s up north going on right now. 35s, 39s, 26s. So, I mean, we've seen some scary numbers, but nothing reported right now. 40 is in that like 40 to 50 range across northern Canada. I don't know if there's any reporting in Greenland. A little bit. Instead of curiosity. Definitely not in the middle of it, though. So, I mean, those are cold temperatures, right? But it's the threat of 40 and 50. I've seen forecasts that say that Jasper could get to 50 below this week. So, I mean, that's extremely cold. So far, a lot of southern interior looks like you're hovering just below freezing for the most part. Good precipitation weather. That's 0 to -5, -10. Great weather for precipitation. Okay. So now let's look at what's going on here. So the expectation right now is that there would be some snow falling in southern BC. You can either completely confirm or deny. We see how that low is drawing a lot of moisture up. It's like kind of a train of lows pulling moisture all together. Here's some of those severe thunderstorms that are going on down in the States that we looked at briefly on the radar. And here's where some of our Kansas blizzard-like conditions are going to be going on. Some significant snowfall. How much? Let's see. Kansas in the next 3 days. For them, it would seem like a lot. 25 centimeters. I mean, Kansas gets cold, don't get me wrong, but it's a dry place, right? So 52 centimeters. If that were to happen, Fort Wayne, Indiana, I've been there, 60 centimeters. If these kinds of snow totals happen in the next couple days, that would be pretty crazy. You know, and there's a lot of agreements, it looks like, between all the models. So I think the track of this storm that's going to be hitting up into Ontario, Quebec, Atlantic Canada, I think they're pretty certain about that now. So, and there'll be another storm that starts this weekend coming up again. And that's because if we go back to what we were seeing here, this low, the Arctic air mass coming down, feeding it, that's going to create this whole new, it's starting to develop now, this whole new giant low that's going to span, look at that, it's like a full third of the United States already, and it's just getting going, and that's going to find its way up into, going to make that same track, one after another. So here we are, Monday, now at 1900, 7 p.m. Expect pretty much everywhere, you know, where people live. Looks like a lot of northern BC is getting missed. And we know that there's snowfall warnings for this area here, so we know that this is coming to affect some of this area. The low looks so crazy. Looks so crazy. Significant snowfall. Yeah, I mean, 3 centimeters an hour, it's kind of good. Kamloops, you might be getting some snow soon. So far, no, it looks like on your, when we look at the images, hopefully that weather radar gets back, and because tomorrow is really going to be the day. The day. Because here it comes. Big pulse. Midnight tonight. Now that's where our 30 to 50 centimeters of snow might be falling. You know, and there's talk, a lot of the idea is that the Cascades are going to get a lot of it. Some of that may be going to the Coquihalla, and then we look again into this part of southern BC when that pulse comes through Tuesday, you might be getting a lot of snow up in the Paulson Pass. So yeah, these are going to be pretty interesting snow totals. We'll stop for a second and go back and look at the next 10 days. School bus going by. Some of the mountain ranges will be getting big time snow. Even, you know, ECMWF thinks that northern BC, perhaps except for the far northeast, the driest place that needs it the most, it appears that everyone's going to get a little snow this next 10 days. And, you know, mostly that's associated with this storm. Okay, back to Tuesday. I zoomed so far out, and that is so annoying. Especially when that's like the moment. There's our Alberta Clipper. That's why that section of prairie is getting some big time snow. There's our first storm moving through. Just pause for a second. I mean, look at that. So much moisture fueling and so much cold air in behind. How cold? Well, I mean, not crazy. It seems there, but this is a large system and it's drawing air all the way up from here. So it's got fuel. 976 inland low. It's deep. It's deep. Already really cold in lots of Newfoundland by Wednesday. Already pretty cold Wednesday in basically the entire northern prairies across in mid-northern BC. And that's that. It's going to breathe out. It's going to keep coming. Rain and thunder. Go back there. Only southern BC getting much of it at that point. And our storm moving into the eastern seaboard. This will be some big time weather stories Wednesday. Two big storms hitting the United States, hitting, New York and places like that. It's big snowfall on eastern Canada. And that's just about out of our picture. So let's go back to the question everybody has. How cold is it going to get, Joe? Is that the question? Hey, Happy Paddler, thanks for buying me a coffee. That's awesome. Really appreciate that. That's forecasting change. How low do you think we'll go? We'll talk about that right now, how cold it's going to get. Sky looks heavy every direction, yeah. That's one thing I noticed when looking at all. Ignore my face here. In fact, wait a second. I may be in the way of what I'm trying to read. Yeah, I didn't realize how big my face has been for so long. I've been trying to talk about weather, and my face has been taking up the entire screen. Crazy. Sorry. I hope that didn't totally screw that entire last segment. I'm still getting better at this. Yeah, I wish it was working too. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So thank you for the coffee donation there. I really appreciate that. Super stoked on that. Back to Wendy, and let's just make sure my face isn't taking up a lot of the image. There. To make up for too much of my face, now you shall have none for a little while. I'm fine with that. Now is when I can pack my bong. And anyways, so here's the cold air breathing out. Let's have a look in at it. There she goes. Oh yeah, that's gonna be 25, 28, 28s, 28s. Some of those numbers starting to dig into BC in the 20s. Those hard pinks are 20s for sure. Oh yeah, 26. This is Thursday at 4 a.m. What's this up here in Fort Ware? Up in areas at 45 below. That's crazy. There's our Arctic outflow all along the coast. That'll help make everybody cold. Thursday, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And here's where I'm really concerned for this blob of cold air. Let's give it a pause for a second and we'll go back to 2D. This blob of cold air is going to be really bad. Really bad. So how bad can it get? Those are, and I know Jasper, we're going to watch this blob of cold air. This is like, how bad will it get? Friday, 2 a.m. How bad will it get? 51 in the Rocky Mountains. McBride at 45. Here in Wells, 36. But what if this blob of cold air comes to Wells? That's entirely possible. Robb, Alberta, 49 at 4 a.m. to go a little bit further. So there's Jasper sitting at -50 Friday, right down there in the bottom of the valley. What'll be happening by then is the inversion will be happening. So at first the mountaintops were the coldest, but now that cold air is sinking down, and the warm air of -39 is going up to the top of the mountains. So that's the warm air of -39. Yeah. Ow. Oh, look at some of these 52 below. So who could possibly be getting some of these? I mean, that's mostly nowhere's land. Near Tumbler Ridge into the 40s. Will Tumbler get it? I don't know. Near Mackenzie, blobs of 40s. Will Mackenzie get it? I don't know. I don't know. What's down here at the lake? Interesting. Williston Lake -24. So that inversion we saw in Jasper not hitting there yet. It's already cold here in Wells. I'm chilly sitting right here. 5 a.m. Friday. So that's how cold can it get? I think this is our answer. Now, does everyone agree on that? No. Not so far. But GFS still has 40s nearby. NAM doesn't go that far. So that's unfortunate. Icon, it does go to, let's see if we can get to Friday yet. What is Icon thinking? Friday at 5 a.m. So Icon kind of agrees, and that's telling. I think that we are probably looking at 50 below. So not only do we have 50 centimeters of snow falling on the mountains in southern BC, but we have -50 temperatures going on. 6 in the morning, Jasper, Alberta. 50s up and through Grand Cache. Wowzers. Wowzers. And for some reason, riding that Rocky Mountains like a little highway south. That's how cold it might possibly get. And that blob of air, it's big. And it's gonna make its way, force its way south. But look at this, even down in Colorado. They've got 28 below down there in Colorado. But what's right below Colorado? Here, this is the desert. I mean, like, that's New Mexico. It's cold. That's cold weather. South Dakota, they get cold weather sometimes. They're a little bit more used to it. Montana, yeah, they know what it's like to get cold once in a while. How bad can it get? Well, as this is doing that, what's it going to be doing? It's going to be fueling another low pressure system that's going to take aim. And again, it's like a full third of the size of the United States moving up into Atlantic Canada at the same time. While our temperatures here out west are screaming cold on Friday, up into the Rocky Mountains particularly, but everywhere. And you see like all that warmer air is filtering up into the Arctic. I mean, this is some bizarre looking stuff to me. That's as far out as I can go in 2D. So we'll just switch to 3 for a second. Crazy. That is crazy looking to me. That is crazy looking to me. So after all the tornadoes and big blizzards to the United States and destroys everything there, if this comes into Ontario at 976 low, I mean, these are like, these are very strong mid-latitude cyclones. And we see some of that wind. I mean, this is if it happens. But we know this cold, crazy air is going to fuel all kinds of misery continent wide, right? And there it is. How bad will it get? I think for Western Canada, for BC, that's probably the worst temperatures we'll be seeing, because we already see a bit of a rebound on Saturday now, according to models. So short-lived for us. If this low down there that's happening at that time, so we got this new low. So if these guys can press and fight their way inland and make some space for warmer air, that would be so great, because I can't survive here in that kind of weather for very long. Thursday, Friday, looking really bad. Looking really bad. So that's this next week. How bad will it get? That's our storm going on right now. We don't have radar. There's so much we don't know. And you know, do our best, right? Do our best. And I'm sorry that my face was in the way for so long. There you go. For now on, there we go. So that'll help you for a few minutes. First big storm of the year is happening. Ha! Thank you. Yeah, my face is half the screen. It was not awful. Well, my face maybe is not awful, but half the screen when I'm trying to find. Also, I don't see that people have hit the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up down there. That's really helpful. Activity near the border, the coast at Spokane. Yeah. Look at the 3D. Look at that hook of warm. Yeah, it's really crazy stuff. So I think that's what I got for now. I've been talking for a while. If we have radar come online, I would really like to be able to, you know, look at it. So whoever's responsible for radar, if you would help me look at it, that would be nice. So we know that there's weather going on in this big question mark area, but we don't know what. Actually, wait 1 second. Let's go back and let's maybe make my face a little bit less crazy just before I go today. And we can look at satellite. One last look. At our storms. Lots of lightning activity going on down there in New Orleans. So that's our, oh yeah, look at the classic shape of those thunderstorms. That's awesome looking. And there's been tornadoes today. I'm not exactly sure where, but I could figure that out in a second. So that's our storm coming ashore. Yeah, there's a lot of that coming. I do feel like I'm done. However, if we take a second, if you go onto the YouTube, so here you go, Brandon Kopic. Right now, what's he up to? Hey guys, that's why we're getting southbound. Looks like he's driving. But lots of good storm chasers were out on the road today. It's not in the risk area. He's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yeah, we're heading down towards Slidell right now, guys. So I don't know if Brand's having much luck or not. I'm sure if you just look for storm chasers on there, you will find them. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna say for today. Here's me in front of me. There's me in front of me. There's me in front of me some more. Learning how to use OBS Studio. Okay, well, I hope you found this enjoyable. Thanks for the donation there. And thank you to my new patron. I really appreciated. I have got a new video that I've made that's got the names of all my patrons, and I haven't made a proper video forecast in a while where I just sit down and make like a 5-10 minute, here's what's going to happen. and maybe I'll do that. I just been finding that the kind of support, I'm getting more momentum right now by talking more. So I just feel like I gotta keep talking because I need support. I want to grow my weather empire. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Enjoy. Stay safe.